Yes, yes, sir. Praise the Redbirds. We're back at the canon where we dive into the cinematic world of comic books and superheroes. First, I want to introduce my partner, Sal. Sal, how you doing today?
I'm doing good. A lot of news to report, so glad you chose us to be your outlet.
Very true. And I'm your host today, Terry. And for our first bit of news, we got Captain America Civil War trailer. As we get closer to May, the marketing for this movie is heating up. This week, we had a bunch of character posters being released, leading up to the official second trailer, where we got a little bit more look into the plot, but more importantly, Spider-Man. First look at Tom Holland's new Spider-Man. So Sal, why don't you dive right into this? What were your thoughts, man?
Very exciting to see him for the first time. And we were talking and saying how Marvel did an excellent job of keeping him kind of hush-hush for the last 6 or 7 months or however long it's been. But he delivered in all aspects besides his costume. I had a little bit of a problem with that, not in terms of the aesthetics of the costume, but the way they delivered it with the CGI. I was hoping for more of a real base suit, like we saw maybe in Tobey Maguire or Andrew Garfield. But other than that, maybe we will see something different in upcoming movies with him. But his voice we were talking about sounds like a high schooler, the one that we all expect Spider-Man to be. His wit is there, so that's good too. And I think he's gonna throw in a monkey wrench to this whole Civil War thing, even if it's just for a little while. I mean, the rumors are he's not in it too much. He does have a significant part, but in terms of runtime, I don't think he's gonna be in it that much. But in terms of the trailer too, again, it has reinforced my belief in this. I wasn't too strong at the beginning, but seeing all the visuals and the narrative of it, I got excited just as much as I did for the last one. So I think the best part in it for me was seeing Scarlet Witch kind of, I don't know, taunt or what, like
take down Vision.
Yeah, taking down Vision. So that was really cool because we've only seen Vision be insanely strong since Ultron. So seeing that was really cool to me. But everything else was great, and we saw, everything basically that we wanted to. Can't think of anything else, but.
Well, do you think that CGI is finished? Because that's been everyone's defense. The CGI is not finished being rendered and everything. Do you think that's the finished CGI, or they're gonna clean it up?
That's what I was thinking. I never really said it, but I don't know why they would show a Spider-Man without the finished CGI.
Why would you show Apocalypse that was purple?
That was a picture. That wasn't that was not the trailer.
Well, no, we originally saw that footage from Comic-Con. Remember, it was leaked, and that's kind of where we saw that. And then the backlash came. Now, it was the same trailer that was eventually re-released officially, but then they have fixed up.
So in the I remember the original Comic-Con leaked trailer. Was he purple in that trailer?
Yeah.
I don't remember. Well, I was so bad it was bad.
Yeah, it was bad quality.
It was bad quality. So
all the people there were saying
he was purple.
Yeah.
Oh well, but they also didn't release that worldwide. That was secret.
Exactly.
So I don't know. So I hope it might be rendered a little bit more. I think they're gonna, as a for everyone's comments.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I hope it is. But otherwise, aesthetically, I am 100% happy with that.
Yeah. Me, I guess the Spider-Man thing, I like the old school vibe. Kind of like I was telling you earlier, after everyone was going crazy over the costume, I was like, okay, let me kind of go back and see which of the three looks the best. And I realized, going from Maguire to Garfield to this, it's different, but it's Spider-Man. I like Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I love it, and it's just cool that he's in there. So I don't really care at the different tweaks and the symbol or how all that looks. As far as it being CGI, I would have liked the practical costume, but like I told you, when I first saw it, my initial reaction was I didn't even know it was CGI. I'm just like, wow, he pops out in the Marvel universe. I don't know if that was just because his character or because the CGI makes it brighter or what, but I'm just like, man, he stands out right now. And so I'm okay with it. Me personally, I like the stuff that people aren't talking about, and that's the actual trailer.
Yeah.
This goes back to what I've been saying. This is getting very close to Batman vs Superman's story, and I think, and I've been saying that fanboy double standard, how there's just a war right now between the Marvel and DC fanboys between these two movies, trashing each other, pumping their movie up, and I'm like, it's darn near the same thing. The part that I liked a lot was the General Ross, like, you know, DC, Sokovia, you know, whatever the African village place was, where he's showing all the destruction.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's ripped. That's exactly what we're talking about in Batman vs Superman, where we're talking about the Man of Steel destruction. And then there was a quick glimpse of Chadwick Boseman playing T'Challa. Not in his Black Panther suit, but he was like, it seemed like he was
like Bruce Wayne.
It seems like he was in the middle of the destruction that the Hulkbuster and the Hulk calls. I would assume, because they were in Africa, so I'm assuming he was there on some business, and he was there and saw the whatever, and that's how he got involved. So yes, Bruce Wayne standing there watching the destruction. So I'm like, okay, we're holding the heroes accountable for the destruction they had. And then, you know, we have two different ideologies and it starts a fight. Like, that's Batman v Superman. Now, we know Batman v Superman was announced before Civil War. I said Civil War was a reaction to the versus hot, you know, theme. I think they were trying to jump on that. And we know this movie was supposed to be, it was done a year ago. It was supposed to come out over a year ago. They just held it back for their reasons. But the movie was done. So there's a big part of me that feels like Civil War is not a rip-off, but it's very closely tied to the same thing. And so people fighting over these two movies is just funny to me. I'm like, they're getting so similar to each other.
Yeah.
And but yeah, like you said, I think it was big that Scarlet Witch had to take on the Vision, because I've been saying from the beginning, the Team Iron Man is so one-sided. I don't understand that. I'm like, first of all, Vision by himself.
Yeah.
But then, you know, you got Black Panther too, and now we got Spider-Man. I'm like, okay, he needs another person on his team. But you had to show that someone could take on the Vision. Otherwise, this would have been a complete mismatch. But I like you seeing the maturity, the maturation of all these characters. You saw Ant-Man running on arrows and like jumping off. He fully understands how to go in and out of his powers. Scarlet Witch, of course, we know she's like a Jean Grey character where she has a lot more power than she knows, and so we see her with new abilities. You know, so everyone's kind of growing in their roles. I really like that. Scarlet Witch gives you a hint that she might be a double agent, which was a
Black Widow.
Oh yeah, what did I say?
Scarlet.
My bad. Black Widow. They're both redhead. So she gives you a hint that she might be a double agent. She's telling Tony, you know, I'm not the one who needs to watch my back and all that. And so there's a lot of stuff in this trailer. After this trailer, I think now my theory is Rhodey dies from Bucky, and I think Bucky's the one that's going to die. I think Iron Man's going to kill him in revenge. And because just the way I looked at trailer, it seemed like such a foreshadow that that's what's going to happen. So that's my theory going into it. So overall, great trailer. I mean, it seems as if they're taking on a very different tone than the MCU has been, where these guys have been rock stars, like I talked about before. Like, there's no consequence. This doesn't fit the DNA. It seems like they're trying to take it in a different direction, where now people want to hold them accountable and all that stuff. So yeah. So the star power in the DCU is continuing to grow, as this week they announced that J.K. Simmons has been cast as Commissioner Gordon, bringing the Oscar winners on the cast up to 4. Sal, what do you think about J.K. Simmons as Commissioner Gordon?
To be honest, I wasn't even thinking about Commissioner Gordon. That just slipped my mind 100%. I just was not thinking about his character. But then hearing that J.K. Simmons had the role, pre-Whiplash, he's a good actor, but pre-Whiplash I probably would have been like, eh. But, you know, after Whiplash, I think he solidified himself, in my mind anyways, to take on this type of movie and this type of character. I think along with this whole tone of the movie, that Gordon is going to step up his game, his character at least, in terms of being a little bit more edgy and a little bit, you know, of an older, brooded man, I want to say. Not anything against Gary Oldman or anything, it was just a different character in the Dark Knight trilogies. So yeah, I'm excited for him to join the cast, and I had something else to say, but I don't remember.
Wasn't important anyway.
I guess. Thanks.
I am not a fan of this.
Okay.
I think I have kept that secret from Sal. But now on live TV, I will say I'm not a fan of it. I thought about this long and hard. First of all, I love J.K. Simmons as J. Jonah Jameson. I love him, and Whiplash is amazing. I think his acting skills is, I even loved him in Juno. But anyway, so I think his acting skills is amazing. The first issue I had with it was going from Gary Oldman to J.K. Simmons. When I think they're just a little too close, and acting chops. It's like, man, it's a really great actor, and then you go into another great actor. So it's like the comparisons are going to be, right off the bat. You just got to look at every final little point, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to do that. But then even think about it more. He's cast as Commissioner Gordon for Justice League 1, not Batman vs. Superman. Mm-hmm. Why is Commissioner Gordon important in Justice League? When we have this big of group of heroes, the threat obviously has to be, not even a world threat, and it has to be probably, universe threat. So it's like, what is Commissioner Gordon going to do? Like, I understand.
He's going to drive the Batmobile and blow stuff up.
Yeah, knock the train down. So
Darkseid's going to be on the train, and that's how he dies.
And I'm just like, because you got all these people, but you have the solo Batman film you could use them in. Could have used them in this one if you really wanted to, but you used them in Justice League. And so the role, I have to guess, isn't that big because you don't have enough time to focus on one character's group. And then even if you did, you don't have enough time to focus on a character that has no real bearing against the threat that's happening. So, and then on top of that, man, I forgot my
Well, do you think that that's a hindrance on him as the character? I mean, I think anyone put in that position would be kind of questionable.
I remember what I was going to say, but no, I don't think it's going to hold him back. I think his performance is going to be great. I'm not saying I don't like him as Commissioner Gordon. I guess I don't see the fit of Commissioner Gordon.
You don't like the role they have him in yet, right now, I mean.
Yeah, and it kind of brings me to what I was going to say, is that the speculation for so long was, since this is a 20-year-old veteran of Batman, that Commissioner Gordon was dead by then.
Okay.
And so I really like the idea of kind of a Batman without all his resources and people besides Alfred. And so, because we know Robin, what happened to him, and then I thought, not having Gordon around, and it really played into him being retired and kind of, jaded at the world.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm just saying it would have been cool too to them just referencing Gordon or referencing whoever's dead by now or gone. Just be like, yeah, this wasn't back in the day when Gordon was commissioner or something. But in Dark Knight, in the story, I know they're not following it verbatim, but Gordon is commissioner for half of the book, and then he retires. So maybe he's in that in some capacity too.
Yeah, I honestly, they name him Commissioner Gordon, but I think he's going to be retired.
Okay. I
think, and then he kind of gets him out of retirement, but I don't know what you would do with him. That's, like I said, it's Justice League, so
it's more of a Gotham story than it would be a Justice League story.
And I'd be pissed.
Honestly, no, I'm not saying that's what it's gonna be. I'm saying he'd be better.
Oh yeah. That's what I mean for the solo Batman. Perfect. I mean, we know he'll be in that.
Yeah.
But having him in Justice League, maybe if it's a quick cameo introduction type thing, cool. But if he's this is a real role, because he's an Oscar winner, so putting him in the movie for a little bit just doesn't. Even though there's a bigger picture, it just seems weird if he's only in there for a little bit. So I just kind of have to sell. Even though we're not doing that, but I can't. I'm not too excited over this news.
Okay, I hear you.
Sticking with the Gordon family, we have Entertainment Weekly reporting that Jenna Malone's character has been cut from the theatrical release of Batman vs. Superman. However, her character will be seen in the rated R Blu-ray extended director's cut. That was a long sentence. But you can see her there. For a long time, she's been speculated to be Barbara Gordon, Batgirl, Carrie Kelly, Robin, and Mrs. Butterworth. So So, Sal, what do you think about her being cut from the movie? And yeah,
Okay, well, I'll start off by saying there is a spoiler. So, cue spoiler alert. I don't know. I forgot we did one before, but
it'll be somewhere in here.
yeah. Anyways, so there was a survey online held by Warner Brothers asking fans who you would like to see more or less or the same amount in, I guess it was just upcoming movies. And so they had a list of people, like it said, like Lex Luthor or Clark Kent / Superman, Diane Keaton, I think, as Martha Kent. Mary Kent, Martha Kent. Yeah, duh. Hey, I never noticed that. Martha Kent and Martha Wayne.
It was Martha Wayne?
Yeah, it's Martha Wayne. But anyways, yeah, so they had this survey, and they had Jenna Malone as Barbara Gordon. So that's a spoiler. She's Barbara Gordon. But it did not include Barbara Gordon / Oracle / Batgirl / anything. So it was just Barbara Gordon. So I guess we can address that first a little bit. We don't know where or when she's gonna happen. In the director's cut, but we don't know in what capacity her character is going to be in this movie. In terms of what I think she's going to be Barbara Gordon Oracle, and they just don't want to release that news yet because Zack Snyder said she's definitely not Batgirl. Again, I don't know if maybe he's just lying straight out, but he could be. So if that's true, though, I think he's going to be. I think she's going to be in some capacity Oracle, and Oracle is Barbara Gordon after she gets paralyzed by the Joker, and she's basically Batman's eyes and ears, technically wise, like all the technical stuff. So I think that's what she's going to be. In terms of her being cut, I'm not too upset about it, just because this movie is already dense with characters, and it's gonna be with cameos and whatnot. I would still love seeing her, but I think it would be better the less is more in terms of what they have already. So in upcoming films and the director's cut, I'll be happy to see her and see what she actually brings to the table. Or she could totally just not be Batgirl yet. She could be. She's still young.
But she's 30
in the movie.
But Jenna's 30.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, that was kind of one thing people were talking about as far as leaning towards Oracle, because she's, I don't want to say over the hill, but she's 30. She's 30
well,
plus.
Batgirl's a teenager.
Right,
so.
But the actress is over 30, so it'd be hard to see her as a young Batgirl.
Yeah. What about you? What do you think?
So I got exclusive news that the scene she in is a wheelchair race between her and Scoot McNairy, and it's rated R. There's a lot of cursing and violence in it. But no,
they cut each other's legs off, but they can't feel it.
Oh, thank you, Deadpool. But yeah. So I think.
Did you notice Deadpool isn't helping us become a little bit more edgy?
Anyway, so
it's just affecting everything, I guess.
I think just that threw me off, but I think I'm leaning towards Oracle. I would like to see a solo Batman movie where it's a mix of The Killing Joke and The Death in the Family, where we see this insane Jared Leto Joker not only kill Robin or by torturing him to death or blowing him up, but also paralyzing Barbara Gordon and setting her up to be Oracle. So in that sense, I'm okay with her being cut from the movie. When you're talking about the canon, it's always weird when you have director's cut, because then you gotta kind of wait to see what they say is actually part of the story and what's not.
Yeah.
Because they could easily say whatever's in that director's cut isn't part of the story, but then that opens up a can of worms. So I'm okay with her being cut, because I don't know what she was doing in the movie, so it's already 2.5 hours, so I'm cool with that, and I hope they do address her and J.K. Simmons more in the solo Batman movie. Next up, we have actor Joseph Gordon-Levitt set to write, direct, and star in the movie The Sandman, a DC comic character. But after the project was moved to Warner Brothers' offshoot company New Line Cinema, Joseph Gordon-Levitt left the project over creative differences in the script. So I'll take the heavy lifting on this one. So to give you a background, Sandman is under Vertigo, which is a line of DC comics made to basically create more graphic, R-rated stories that they couldn't tell under their regular DC comics because of the comic book code of justice. I don't know what it's called, but there are some guidelines, and so they had to make this kind of offshoot to make their darker stories. So Sandman and a lot of other characters are under the Vertigo title. Warner Brothers DC was in the makes of making a Vertigo kind of cinematic universe that wasn't connected to the DCU. So we're going to see Joseph Gordon-Levitt's Sandman as like the first big thing, and then George Miller directing Justice League Dark was kind of going to be the second big movie in that line. So what happened is, after moving them to New Line, it was believed they were trying to distance them from the DCU even more as we got close to Batman vs Superman and stuff like that. But like things happen with studios, they wanted to change the script, and so they started trying to make it more of a horror movie instead of the true adaptation that Joseph Gordon-Levitt wanted to the character. And so he eventually left. So I guess the real thing behind this is that Vertigo seems like it's not going to really happen now. I think having Joseph Gordon writing, directing, and starring in it was kind of the appeal to it. And it shows that not all the studios are trying to go R-rated centric after Deadpool like some people thought. They were building this up a while ago, and it seems like they wanted to PC it up a little bit and make it more pop culture-y, and so it ended up collapsing. So what do you think about the idea of Vertigo, or maybe making a line of those comics and then studios kind of interfering?
In theory, I think it's a cool idea. You have just a kind of a different toned, well, actually maybe not that different tone because everything's pretty dark in DC, but a different tone and a more, like you said, more graphic storytelling with Vertigo and those movies. That's what it would have been. But in terms for the studio, I don't know how much that would have worked out, just because delineating it from the DCU I thought would have made problems, just because, not saying that it Vertigo would not have been good, the movies at least, but I don't know, I just think DCU would have overshadowed it a lot. It's an interesting concept in terms of having two separate universes that are two totally different things, but just like money wise for DC, I don't think it would have really worked out. I like that Joseph Gordon-Levitt was going to helm everything in this. That would have been really cool. He's a very talented person, but I guess it just didn't work out for him. So I think for him to leave, something really had to be wrong, because I know he's a pretty laid back guy, and he really wants to create things, and this would have been a great thing for him to create on a very big stage. So for him to walk away, a lot of things would have to have been wrong. So whether they get on track or not is up in the air right now, but hopefully they find a way to make it work.
So now it's time for one of our segments we like to call Keep It or Sweep It. Alright, so first up in the news, we have the Suicide Squad cast taken to Twitter for more marketing. This time they released character tattoo posters promoting Harley's tattoo parlor that's going to pop up in the South by Southwest Film Festival. The rumor is that the Suicide Squad movie will be shown at the film festival to those lucky viewers. Sal, do you keep or sweep that they're going to actually show the Suicide Squad months and months before it comes out?
I'm going to sweep that. I don't think it's a good idea. I think it's too close to Batman Superman. Would I want to be one of those fans that sees it? Yes. But I would, in retrospect, I wouldn't want them to do it. The marketing for this seems, on point as of right now. It's not too oversaturated. I mean, we still have 8 months. But I don't know where I'm going with this. But I wouldn't want to see it. Or I wouldn't want them to show it. But in terms of the marketing, like I said, it's pretty copacetic right now, and I don't think they need to show it. I mean, Deadpool did that. Why do they have to do that? I don't think they should be copying what they're doing, what Deadpool's doing. It is in the realm of a little bit more of an edgy movie, I guess, or edgier characters, but that doesn't call for, you know, to be edgy like Deadpool. So I have to sweep that. But in terms of the posters, I like them. I think, are we gonna pick them at the end of this little segment?
Sure, why not?
All right. Go ahead. So, what do you think?
Well, for me, I gotta keep it. I definitely gotta disagree with you a little here, just because I agree it's real close to Batman vs Superman. The festival's actually this week, so it's before Batman vs Superman. That did weird me out a little bit till I realized that the movie is set before Batman vs Superman in the first place.
Yeah.
And so the timeline and the connections don't really, they're not really there. It's not like Batman's in it a lot. He's just going to cameo, so that's not going to ruin anything. That'll probably excite you, if anything. And not to mention, there's a select handful of people that are going to see it compared to the audience that's going to watch Batman vs Superman. So I do have to keep it. I think the South by Southwest Film Festival is becoming more and more popular with these big studios kind of releasing something they kind of want to get buzz going for. Started last year with Trainwreck, the Amy Schumer comedy. So and that skyrocketed all the conversation. So if they drop this, Wednesday or Thursday, whenever the movies start, and fans kind of like Deadpool are just, all over the internet talking about it, that's going to be kind of cool. Mm-hmm. That buzz probably will die off because we're like 5-6 months away from August. So
8 months. Well, 7 months.
We can't do math.
Oh wait, no. I said 8 months. You didn't correct me. Thanks.
I said 5 to 6. Anyway, but yeah, I think that buzz will die off a little bit. So, but for those people that see it, they'll start spreading the word. So I got to keep it. And then, yeah. So what do we want to pick? The tattoo that we would get if we had to get a tattoo?
You go first. I'm thinking.
Oh, I gotta think too. Okay, I'm going Deadshot.
Yeah, you told me before. I thought.
I'm going Deadshot with the Joker as a very close second. All in. That's cool.
I'd probably have to go Deadshot too, but
okay.
Katana is pretty cool. Oh. I like katanas really a lot with the katana sword. So that's cool. Right. And there's blood in it. I'm not sure if there's blood in it.
Deadpool's messed this man.
I'm pretty hardcore now.
Alright, so next up we have Sony has confirmed that the Venom movie is back on. This originally as a spinoff to the Amazing Spider-Man, but now they have also said that the movie will not be connected to the Spider-Man reboot. Sal, do you keep or sweep the idea of Venom being back on and not being a part of the Spider-Man universe?
I'll sweep that thing under the counter or rug, whatever you want to do. So you said, I didn't read the article on it, but you said that it's not going to be connected to the Amazing Spider-Man, but it's also not going to be connected to...
No. So it originally was a spinoff of the Amazing Spider-Man, but of course that franchise is dead. So it's not connected to the reboot either with Tom Holland.
So it's going to be a standalone like Daredevil or Punisher movie from 2003.
Well,
basically what I'm hearing right now. So I'm definitely going to have to sweep that. I think they should establish that world again with Tom Holland and this new rebooted Spider-Man first. Unless their plan going in is saying, hey, we're just going to release this because we have so much work on it already. And if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Which is a pretty ballsy move by Sony if that's what it is. They're going to find some way to make... No, I guess they're not because they said they're not going to connect it. So, I don't know. This thing is kind of weird to me. Will I go see it? Yes. Well, you're going to go see it too. Okay. Anyways.
Foreshadowing to what I'm going to do.
You're going to download it?
I meant sweep it.
Oh, yeah. All right. Well, go ahead.
Well, it's swept already. Yeah, I sweep it.
You're going to vacuum the shit up.
I sweep it under the crumbled foundation that once was Amazing Spider-Man. That's dumb. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
I'm going to make a character that is probably the most tied to Spider-Man and rip him to a separate thing.
Yeah.
Like, it just makes no, like, the man looks like Spider-Man. Like, how are you going to not connect it? And that kind of goes to the business that Sony and Marvel's contract was not for the Spider-Man universe. It was for Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And so, you know, all the supporting characters and things aren't necessarily up for grabs. And so, while the stipulation is the reboot is being produced by some of the people at Marvel, it also is in the MCU because you'll have Tony Stark and what's that man's name? Captain America cameoing, which is also a foreshadow that he's not going to die in Civil War. But anyway, so you have them cameoing, and so that's where the rub comes with the contracts. And so, like you said, they had a lot of work in this Venom movie. They liked the idea, and so instead of scrapping it all together, they're going to go ahead, but now it can't be connected.
I'd rather see a Sinister Six movie than a solo Venom movie.
Yeah.
At least you have more characters.
So one thing I'll say is I thought about it. While I think it's a dumb idea, I don't think there's zero chance it can succeed. I think if you go a complete different route, if it's not Eddie Brock or whatever, you get a new guy, new name, or that's an astronaut. And I think if you make this like a character-driven like drama kind of like almost like a post-traumatic stress disorder of going into space and being attacked by some alien.
Yeah.
And him like kind of almost like American Sniper, where he's back in the regular civilian life. He's like having issues trying to adjust. And then eventually this thing slowly like
eats at him.
It brings the darkness out of him until he becomes Venom.
Okay.
And I would have liked that. I think, but it would take some creative talent to write and direct that. And if you want to get me, I'm open. But yeah, I think if you went completely off the wall and did that out of the box, but I just don't see them doing it.
Well, yeah, they're not bogged down by the chains of saying, oh, we have to think 3 movies ahead for this movie. So that in that aspect, I think it's a good chance of being something more creative and something we haven't seen, especially with this character Venom. You can go anywhere with him, and he's a pretty interesting character. So I do like that now that you mention it, but I don't, like you said, I don't think that's what's gonna happen. But
yeah, I'm telling you guys, like the black ooze and goo, he doesn't have that suit. It's inside of him. The black ooze is taking over his heart. Now that's the metaphor. And so he still has powers, but he doesn't walk around in a suit. And now he's just embracing the darkness within him.
And he hits his wife.
Yeah, and then he starts chopping heads off and breaking the fourth wall. We got a movie.
There you go.
Alright, so talking about something that is in the Spider-Man universe, we have some news with the new Spider-Man reboot. Not much has been known so far. We know Tom Holland is Peter Parker, and Marissa Tomei's fine self will be Aunt May. But now we know the female lead has been cast as Zendaya, one of the Disney superstars, I guess, over there. And from the rumors, she'll be playing Michelle, and not Mary Jane or Gwen Stacy. So Sal, do you keep or sweep the casting of Zendaya?
I mean, I guess I keep it. I don't have much of an opinion on it besides that Zendaya does commercials for Proactive or whatever she does. I'm glad that they're going with a different character than Gwen Stacy and Mary Jane. So yeah, in that aspect, I do definitely keep it. They're kind of going off the grid a little bit with the more new canon Spider-Man and their characters. So that's not to say that we won't see Mary Jane or Gwen Stacy in here at some point. But and I like that she's a person of color, that they're mixing it up a little bit, and that kind of just goes again with the whole Mary Jane and Gwen Stacy thing. So yeah, I'll keep this. But there's not much to go off of besides that. So yeah.
Yeah, sweep it. Sweep.
Is he racist or?
Almost. So I think that casting a Disney person is going to automatically get a sweep from me, no matter what it is. Disney's horrible. Good Lord.
Yeah.
And so I can't take any of their actresses serious. So from an acting standpoint, I have no idea what she's going to bring to the table. But as far as her character, everyone thinks it's Michelle Rodriguez, I believe, who in the newer comics is his roommate in college and like a potential love interest, but like friends that kind of go back and forth that like each other, but they don't express their real feelings to each other. You know that.
Okay, that was a little creepy.
that old story. So, but yeah, in this we know he's in high school. He's not supposed to be in college yet, at least from what we heard. So I don't know if she's going to be his roommate or if that's leading up to number 2, where he's a senior in high school and then maybe they end up being roommates. I don't know. But yeah, I think it's cool going away from the old Mary Jane story. Yeah. I love Mary Jane. I hate Gwen Stacy, but something new. But as far as the actress herself, I have to sweep it. And you know, it's tough because I haven't seen her or anything, but Disney does not have a good reputation.
I think that's the writing, though. I don't think it's the actors.
For Disney?
If you put anyone in those, right?
But they're all like singer/actress. They all have to sing. Like, I don't understand why they gotta be pop stars and actors. Like, what happened to Kim Possible? What happened to, you know, That's So Raven, the good shows? Now we got all this crap.
It's pretty much crap.
Alright, so lastly, this is something that's near and dear to my heart and Sal's, as I know. But in all seriousness, this is comic books and superheroes, and you know, it wouldn't be a show if we didn't, you know, pay, you know, service. Yeah, if we didn't pay service to all the comic books, you know, material stuff we like and we didn't like. So with that said, we're going to talk about a little about Kingsman. They have cast Halle Berry as one of the CIA agents, and then they also cast Julianne Moore earlier as the main villain. So we have 2 Oscar-winning actresses now a part of this franchise that was very popular and very well received. I know that me and Sal weren't too fans of it, but it's ripped directly from a comic book, so we have to include and be inclusive because we're PC here at the Canon. So Sal, do you keep or sweep Halle Berry and Julianne Moore in Kingsman 2?
I don't have anything against those actresses. Besides, I will never forgive Halle Berry for Catwoman.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't want to be a dick, but I guess I'll keep it. I don't know.
All right, so
all right.
I was going to say.
Well, I like Julianne Moore. I like them both, whatever. But Julianne Moore is good. The movie didn't capture anything in terms of interest for me. It was filled with a bunch of white people besides Samuel L. Jackson, who was the bad guy. So, what are you gonna?
Samuel's black enough for everybody.
Yeah. So, yeah. Yeah. Whatever. I don't care.
I'll give more effort. I'm going to keep it. While I didn't like Kingsman, I didn't hate it. I didn't like it as much as other people. It was a good
visually appeal. It was good visually.
I'm not, like I said before Deadpool, I'm not the like gore and dirty joke type. Like, that's not my thing. So in that aspect, that lost me. But there was some cool ideas in it. Getting Julianne Moore, who I absolutely am loving lately. What was the movie she played in? She won an Oscar for it.
This year?
Last year.
Last year.
She played the
best actress.
Yeah, she played a lady that was like a top professor in language and stuff, and then she had Alzheimer's, and she started, you know, to lose her memory, and so that portrayal was amazing. And so she's been doing some good stuff.
Still Alice.
See, I remember this song she said. Still Alice, great movie. Kristen Stewart's horrible, but Halle Berry, like, she's not as fine as she used to be, but she brings a certain level of excitement, star power to the movie. She has acting chops, you know, it's in there somewhere, even though she's buried it. So bringing in 2 talented people like that, I think never hurts. Kind of like when J.K. Simmons, even though I don't think it fits, bringing in an Oscar winner never hurts you. So I'm excited to see the villain she brings to the table, Julianne Moore. Samuel Jackson was, kind of cool, but his plan didn't make sense to me. And so maybe if they do something a little more better with her, I think she won't be like the flamboyant type. She'll be more of the cold, calculated type.
Yeah, I definitely think
and
that's
then
what they're gonna
Halle Berry as an agent, I think she's still in good enough shape and everything where she can do action. So I have to keep it. And I'm not going to see it probably, but not until it comes out on DVD. But I think this is the right move for Kingsman too.
Okay. So next up in the 25 Days of Justice is day number 14, and we are going to do a complete short overview of one of my favorite superheroes, Aquaman. Now, Aquaman does not get enough credit that is due to him. He has been made fun of in many a social media, many a TV show throughout a lot of history, since his inception basically. But anyways, to give you a short overview, Aquaman was cast out of Atlantis as a baby. His father fell in love with his mother, who was an Atlantean, and he grew up basically on Earth and never felt, like Superman a lot, never felt accepted and never felt like he belonged there. So later on in life, he found out that he was from Atlantis, and he was unwillingly cast back into Atlantis as their king. His powers include breathing underwater, swimming at tremendous speeds, and telepathically communicating with sea life. And don't get that twisted with talking to fish, because he cannot do that. He can make them do what he wants. He is a badass. In many people's opinions, including mine, he is just as strong, if not stronger, than Superman. So take that, assholes. And that is the 25 Days of Justice, day number 14.
All right, and that does it for this episode of The Canon. Remember, if you like what you heard, please give us the ammo by clicking the subscribe button below. I'd like to thank my partner today, Sal. Sal, where can the people find us?
You can find us on Twitter at The Canon Vlog, or on Facebook, facebook.com/The Canon.
And I'm your host today, Terry. And remember, if you heard it here today, it's canon. Make the Black Ranger black.
Black Rangers matter. We're gonna get
that was YouTube. I just realized what you said. Black Rangers matter.